Tina here. This is Sedona transmission number 4, and once again I have no idea who is going to come through, so I will take a couple of breaths and we will see who comes to visit us. You are here to help us continue on learning about the universe and the galaxy and all of the beings that are here to assist you in your awakening process. Arcturians here. We are particularly fond of this part of the earth, and we come with much love for humanity. We come with much love and caring for this being who has allowed the Galactic Federation to pick up the phone and ask and answer many questions and calls. We are associated with the Galactic Federation, and we are a highly evolved race of beings who are here to first of all observe and see what is going on your planet. We have been here many eons of time, beyond your calculation. You think in such small increments of time, 70 years, 100 years, 200 years. You think you are here for a long time when you've been here for 200 years. A country or a society, 200 years is nothing. A little tiny fleck of dust in the galactic time scale. We have been here many eons of time and helped in some of the development of some of your civilizations in times past. But this time we are here to open the doors. Open the doors to what? Open the doors to Earth's future. Earth's future is up for grabs, so to speak. You have been kept in, we will call prison. It is a psychological, physical, emotional prison. You have been controlled by debt, and you've been controlled by aristocracy and royalty, and you have had land taken from you. You have had over the centuries many things done to you in the name of the law, but these are laws of men, laws of beings that do not love you, laws of beings that have your worst interest as their purpose. We are the Galactic Federation and the societies and civilizations contained within that federation. We are different in that sense. We have evolved above the laws of your world into the laws of love and into the laws of freedom and into the laws of the understanding that you are all connected. We are all connected. Why now? Why is there communication being made now? The communication is being made now because it is the time. That seems like a foolish answer to many of you, but it is true. Just like the turning of spring into summer is the time, and it happens because that is the time that it happens. There are greater patterns in your universe that you are unaware of. There has been hardwired into your system these cycles of time, cycles of evolution, cycles of energy that ebb and flow, and in which societies grow and at times are destroyed. You are coming to a time now where there is an increase in frequency of your planet, and not only your planet, but your solar system. Your solar system is beginning to vibrate at a higher rate, and so you are seeing changes of weather, you are seeing changes of temperature, and you are seeing changes of consciousness, because you are controlled by many aspects of the physics of your society, many aspects of the physics of your planet. The magnetism of your planet, for example, greatly affects your behavior, greatly affects the decision-making processes of the beings on the planet, and those that are in charge will work to counter some of those decisions that are being pushed by the increasing frequencies that you are experiencing. And that is why you are seeing an increase in the production of controlling mechanisms on your planet. You ask yourselves, why now are there more rules and more rules and more rules? And that is because if they are not implemented, you will begin to act as if you are free. You will begin to choose to do what you want. But as these societal controls increase in frequency and severity, there is an aware and intelligent part of your mind that says this is not correct. We should not be directed in this way. We should not be having all of these implementations. For example, medical implementations or immigration implementations, banking implementations, and the rising ire of the ordinary person is beginning to be felt on your planet. And so what do we do as observers of this transformation of your society? Well, we want to communicate with you so that you know what is going on, because if you are not taught what is going on, if you are not taught that these revolutionary activities of people taking to the streets and arguing with authority are just and viable and needed in your society, your training programs that tell you you should be good and compliant will kick in. If you are not re-educated by beings who know more, you will do as you are told, because you have for centuries been trained into doing as you are told. And so that is what your natural default setting is. I will do as I'm told until there is something so grand and so awful that I will stand up and be counted. But lo and behold, those things don't come, do they? Because now you have to be screened with your cameras to go through your passport checkpoints, and you are beginning to have to sign this and pay for that and register here and register there, and there is all kinds of chaos breaking out in your society, and yet the rules are becoming stricter and stricter. So what is going on here? A chaotic society full of strict rules. This tells you that it is unhealthy. This tells you that there is something wrong with your society. That is what we see. We see a society riddled by violence and fear and manipulation through the hypnotic devices and training programs. And then you are unhappy with the results, but you will not stand up and be counted. This is the time for you to stand up and be counted and say, enough. I am not going to do this because it is not necessary. I am a free being. I have free will and I can choose. Now you will say, many of you, we cannot do that. We cannot stand up and just willy-nilly be free. Yes, you can. That is what a loving society does. It gives freedoms to the beings contained within that society, based on the knowingness that if a spiritual being, which you all are, if a spiritual being is restricted to such a degree that it feels as if it is not alive and free to do as it chooses, it will sicken and die, because the body is manufactured by the spirit. And the spirit, connected to love and freedom and creativity and self-expression, will enliven that body. And this is one of the reasons you are seeing terrible epidemics of cancers and sicknesses and increasing diseases in your children, because you are losing your life force because of the imprisonment practices of the ruling elites on your planet. Now, each of you has free will. Each of you has the right to say, yes, I will do that, or no, I won't do that. Yes, I'm going to buy that product, or no, I'm not going to buy that product. Or yes, I'm going to watch this violence, or no, I'm going to sit in my room and meditate and talk to these lovely Arcturians, which we highly recommend you do, by the way. We are back close to you now. We are right here, waiting for an increasing number of you to connect with us. And it is perfectly easy to do. You just must choose loving actions, thoughts, words, and deeds as often as you can. And you must include yourself in that loving action, that loving thought, that loving word, that loving deed. So when you look in the mirror, even though you look quite funny to us, we look quite different than you, you must look in the mirror and say, what a beautiful sight you are to behold, and you have been created perfectly for the life that you are living. That is not what most of you say when you look in your mirrors. You are saying horrible things. We pick up on these frequencies, you see. We hear these words that you say, you know. And we are astonished at the hatred that can be contained within one mind against the little body that you have been given to carry you through your spiritual experience. This is one of the first places that we want you to change your thoughts, because your thoughts are poisonous when it comes to your own physicality. Your hair should be different. Your eyes should be different. You shouldn't be aging this way. You should be thinner. You should be fatter. Parts of you should be fatter. Parts of you should be thinner. And you will go to great lengths to conform to distorted and evil prescriptions that your society designers have foisted upon you in an effort to keep you unloving. They want you unloving because down low in the unloving frequencies, you are powerless. You are not connected to source. You are not connected to divine guidance. You are connected to the material physical world, death and sickness and poverty and scarcity. And they have done a very, very good job of training you into these things. So now is the time for you to step up your Independence Day. Yes, that movie Independence Day, we want you to take that title, not necessarily the methodologies of that movie, but take that title and begin to use that today. It is my Independence Day. How am I going to express this? The paradox of independence is that it is the collective that needs your loving sharing, your loving frequency. So in choosing to love yourself, in choosing to honor yourself and listen to that which you seek to find and experience, you become healthier, stronger, your body becomes more filled with vital life force because spirit is excited to be in an individual that is seeking to express itself. That is, after all, one of your great purposes in your incarnation is to express the gifts and the tendencies that you have chosen in this lifetime to express. And a being that is expressing these and expanding itself and learning and growing, challenging itself, will produce a vital body, because the body is a reflection of the mind, and the mind is a reflection of the spirit's energy system, if you will. So what you must do to create a healthy society is to begin to create healthy individuals, and you must begin with yourself. You can't point your finger at the being who's not doing what you think they should. That is a low frequency judgmental aspect of the egoic consciousness in which many of you find yourselves. You must look around you and say, those people are none of my business. Unless somebody is sitting right in front of you or is living in the same house with you, in the same room with you, it is none of your business. And even then, you should be focusing so much on learning and growing and nurturing yourself that you should look sideways to them and say, well, I'm way too busy over here getting things organized in this body-mind system. You need to look after your own, and when we each are looked after, then let's get together and have some fun, because that is fun. When you have a body and a mind that is looked after and nurtured and healed and healthy, it is fun to hang out with another being who's doing the same thing and intermingle and play and do all kinds of delicious activities. But until you reach that point, you should mind your own business and concentrate on your own practice, concentrate on your own healing. Your psychologies are distorted. Your psychologies even are trained to look at the wrong thing in the wrong place, to blame your parents or your society or your money. This is not going to serve you. There is no blame here. You are the central figure in your play. You are the writer, the manager, the stage lighting professional, and you must own your own production. And this is another thing that we want to say to you today. You must own your own production, which is that you have created the body, the life, the relationships, the financial situation, and the collective consciousness has picked up on your vibration and is using it as it can. In our societies, we've gone through much of the evolution that you are now facing, and many of you have not been that evolved, to be truthful. You have got a big growth curve coming up for you on your planet, and that is one of the reasons that we are so grateful for this being to allow us to speak through her. You must prepare yourself for the growth curve. How do you do that? Well, you educate yourself in spiritual truths, which this being, obviously, in her transmissions, has allowed a lot of information to come through and will be a great source of education for you. You must look after your physical body. If you are let us say a little under strength, a little overweight, a little lazy, a little out of shape, what would happen if you had to forage for your own food tomorrow? Or what would happen if there was no gasoline and you had to hike to town and collaborate with other beings to produce some food, or to import some food somehow, some way, by riding a horse perhaps, or hitchhiking, or doing something that is quite strenuous compared to what you normally do, which is sort of stagger over to the fridge and get the food there. You might want to think about, can I walk 5 miles? You might want to start walking a little more, a little more, a little more, so that you can walk to town if you need to, with a bag on your back full of something or other. Wild apples or fruit. Perhaps there will be food. But we ask you, are you prepared to do that kind of exercise? Do not think about the body for vanity's sake, but think about it as a vehicle. Can you use it? Is it strong? Is it working? Are you giving it the proper nutrition? These are simple spiritual practices that will lead you to a much better future. And so, as Arcturians, we are here to encourage you, not to tell you off, although we do that a little bit, because you do need to have these things brought to your attention. We are Arcturians, highly evolved beings who've been assigned to come to your planet to assist you in the revolution, evolution, transformation that is going to take place here on the surface of your planet. It is already taking place. There are many shenanigans going on behind the scenes of your political and banking industries. Many shenanigans going on behind the scenes of your pharmaceutical and military industrial industries. Not everything is shown to you on the news because they don't want you to know it. But there are changes coming. There are changes being made. And we would suggest that you look honestly at your body, at your mind, at your heart, and ask yourself, is there something I can do today to change myself into a healthier, happier, more vibrant being? If the answer to that is yes, then we say do that thing. Do not procrastinate anymore. It is the new year, and this is going to be a very interesting year, as will the next one, as will the next one. So we say start today. We will speak to you again at another time. Okie dokie. That was transmission 4. Bye.